Please order the pledge of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Here.
Snyder?
Here.
Martello?
Here. While she calls Kevin, can I have Jason Lehman up front? Jason, a little relax. Don't worry, throw any answers. Just raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jason Lehman.
I, Jason Lehman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the Commonwealth.
of the Commonwealth.
That I will discharge the duties
I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
my duties of the office with fidelity.
Good job. Try to keep the blood off the new bag. Oh, you just want
Trying to keep the blood on my shirt.
How many generations is that? 4 generations. Is that a first, you think?
No, by 4.
Yeah.
What's that?
In the city, it is.
It is. That's pretty neat.
Bear with us here a second.
Yes.
Probably have to dial 4.
There.
Roll call?
Yes.
I gotta catch up here. All right. Need approval of the minutes. Anything that's listed that we have in our people. I'll make a motion to accept. Will you second?
The minutes are, I'm going to vote against the second set of minutes just because it's too incomplete. The conversation's taken out.
What minutes of what?
From the December 26th meeting, council
The
meeting.
council minutes.
Yeah, but I'm going to vote no on it, but I just wanted to let you know why I'm voting no on it.
You don't want me to do this? You want me to make a motion less that, so you can approve everything else, or do you want to vote no on all of them?
Okay.
What, are you going to give me new ones? Are you going to redo them or not? I mean, if you're not going to redo them, then there's no point. But,
Oh, I don't know. I don't have them here in front of me, so I'm not sure.
yeah.
All right, okay.
Don't make edits. If you want to exclude it.
Or you can still get them, even if you vote no, if you want to just tell you there's certain areas you think there's things excluded from. That's all. All right, we have first and second. We need to vote. Accept the minutes.
Christian?
Yes.
Snyder?
Yes.
Bartolo?
No.
Troop? Ister?
Okay, let's do the CBG update with Jamie, SRI update, redevelopment authority update. This contract we're going to talk about when this meeting's over in a quick executive session. Board appointments are in front of you. I don't want to do them all at one time. Unless somebody else objects, can we do them all with the housing authority?
No,
We're going to do them one at a time.
Probably do them all, but recreation and housing.
Okay. All right, so the motion is that we accept Dale Wohlers for civil service, Adam Purdy, Gary Wolf for the redevelopment authority, Bob Lagerman for zoning hearing, Gary Wolf for board of appeals, Larry Walfer for the municipal authority, Cindy Incroat for HARB, Paul Yuka for the planning commission.
Second.
Snyder?
Yes.
Bartolo?
Yes.
Troop? Ister?
Yes.
Christian?
Yes. All right, I'll make a motion for the recreation board. Ron Pratt, Mindy Huffman, Linda Hare, Jenna Eister, and Rick Reitner to fill the vacant spot. Do I have a second for that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Bartolo?
Yes.
Troop? Ister?
Stay.
Christian?
Yes.
Snyder?
Yes. I'll make a motion for the housing authority, Kathleen Persing for 5 years. I need a second. Second. Thank you.
Troop? Ister?
Yes.
Christian?
Abstain.
Snyder?
Yes.
Bartolo?
Yes.
So to recap, everybody is back. There's only one new person in all those authorities that hasn't been serving for years, and that is Rick Reitner, and I think he was here. Thank you for volunteering your time. Tax anticipation resolution, Todd?
Yeah, just a quick recap for everyone before Michael has a chance to discuss, I guess, the details. If you recall, in the fourth quarter of last year, we opened bids for our first quarter 2013 tax anticipation note. That bid was awarded to Northumberland National Bank. The amount is a total of $250,000. We go through this routine each and every year. Michael's prepared a resolution basically for approval this evening, which will allow us to finalize those loan documents and actually proceed with a drawdown on that tax anticipation note. Is there anything else, Michael, you'd want to add to that?
I don't know how I could add anything better.
So I guess that,
What I would need is a motion to accept the resolution. This is a sort of an extra step we do at the beginning of each year, even though we've accepted it. But DCED wants us to do it on the year that we enter into it. So if somebody wants to make a motion to accept the resolution that's been prepared.
That was a form of motion.
that was a form of motion. Thank you.
Ister?
Yes.
Christian?
Yes.
Snyder?
Yes.
Bartolo?
Yes.
All right, Kevin, at our pre-meeting, we talked about keeping all the same dates that we have for council meetings and just making them all 6:15 starts. You remember the last council meeting we talked about that?
Yes, no?
Anyway, I'll make a motion that effective all the rest of the scheduled meetings that we have for the remainder of the year, that all meetings start at 6:15, and business will be taken care of at that time, so in other words, there's no more 6:15 and 7 o'clock meetings.
Second.
Persing,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Martello,
Yes.
Troop. Ister.
Jim, Eagles pool tournament?
Yes, I got an application to use the ice skating rink on 5/3 to 5/5. Of course, this year, they're there 2010. They'll provide necessary documents for insurances and so forth. And we'll get a schedule when it's the times and so forth. Right, Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay.
Was there any issues, Jeremy, Jim, from like 2-3 years ago that we need to do something different, or?
Not on our part, absolutely not on our part. Yeah, everything went great, everybody from around the state that was here really enjoyed the venue, and they're looking forward to coming back.
Right, and did you, I know, like when we were at the softball tournaments, you always hand out, did you have stuff like that for the people to try to keep in the city at different places, or?
Yeah, I believe Eric Long actually prepared some of those things and put out different things that were around the city.
Because I would recommend, just get in touch with SRI, because sometimes they have some pamphlets and that kind of stuff, and we make sure everybody's just handing them out. It's what we call a captive audience, so as much as we can, if they want to spend money, they might as well spend it in the city of Sunbury.
Absolutely.
What was nice about it, they were supposed to go someplace else and had a problem there. The state association called Jeremy right away and said, can we come back to Sunbury? So they
That's
like
good.
it here.
Well, that's been a reason they wanted to come back, and it's good. Congratulations, thank
Need
you.
a second on that.
Sorry.
Thank you.
How many people are we talking about? How many people?
600 to 800 shooters, and then everybody that they bring along with them, so
Okay.
in the neighborhood of 1,000 people in one.
Okay.
Snyder,
Yes.
Martello,
Yes.
Troop. Ister.
Yes.
Persing.
Yes. Approval to pay invoices, Todd?
Yes, actually, apologize, this time around, there was not a vouchers report that I saw actually issued, but at this point, all the invoices I have in front of me are pretty much very basic, standard start of the year invoices. So I'd look to get approval tonight to make payment on outstanding payables in the amount of $56,823.95. If anyone has an interest in actually taking a look at the checks, I can certainly hand those around now, but I can assure you there's nothing in there unusual.
Okay.
I'll make that in form of a motion. Thank you.
Are we going to pay all these now?
We'll probably hold for a day or two.
Is that a mistake that
No, actually, it's, I did talk with Steve. It's not just for membership. It's actually part of the live scan fees that the association manages on behalf of the state, so we're good. Thank you for the second. Yeah.
Okay. Martello,
Yes.
Troop. Ister.
Yes.
Persing,
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
Tax exoneration, Todd?
Yes, actually, you have in front of you a request for exoneration included in the packet, as we do each meeting. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the request for exoneration as noted by the individuals there for the amount shown.
Second.
Thank you.
I lost Mr. Troop. Ister.
Yes.
Persing,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Martello.
Yes.
I lost those. Okay, tax exoneration is done. Todd, talk about cameras?
Yeah, just quickly update. We've received the majority of the shipment of cameras up to this point, as noted, I know in the newspaper here over the last few weeks. But with that said, I wanted to kind of talk through kind of the next important step, which is finalization of locations. I've received from Jim and Dave and Steve kind of preliminary lists that you had as far as targeted locations for the cameras to be deployed. I wanted to make note that initially we'll have 12 cameras that essentially will be roaming cameras. So I know we've talked about how they can be used by the department, but that's the initial thrust over the next month, is basically to get those finalized in terms of configuration, get the department working with the chief properly trained to be able to utilize those, and then work with probably a few individuals within the Public Works Department so that they know how they can actually be properly hung, for example, on poles. So that's the initial intent with the first 12 cameras. I'd just like to ask that the rest of council, and if Dave, Steve, and Jim, if you have any additions or modifications you'd like to make to that list that you had prepared going into the last part of last year, please get that to me, and we can actually put that into the project plan and start scaling everything out from there. But the good news is that we should have all the cameras in hand within the next 2 weeks, and we'll be ready again to start rolling those out. The last thing, I guess, and this is a little bit of a footnote, the Eagles were very supportive of the project and actually providing funding for some cameras, if you remember, $5,000 in total. What I'd like to do, if we can, in order to get those cameras purchased for their location, I'd like to make a motion this evening that we basically at least get permission to follow through and purchase the cameras that they actually provided the funding for from the vendor that's worked with us up to this point, so I can get those received within this next year and ultimately then prepare and get them into the project schedule as quick as possible too. So I know that's I actually just thought of that, so I apologize for surprising it on everybody, but I figured it shouldn't be an issue. They've provided the funding, we just need to get the equipment deployed for them.
And that's why we bid it the way we did, so we could go out and buy it.
Exactly.
So I don't, but that's probably a good idea to bring it to council. All right.
So if we could just make a motion to allow me to proceed with purchasing the equipment necessary for the Eagles location, we'll get that squared away and start working with them on a project plan. Thank you.
Persing?
Yes.
Snyder?
Yes.
Martello? Martello?
Yes.
Ister?
State of the city address, as I mentioned earlier, February 27th, 7 o'clock at Deggenstein. We'll have more of that in the, we have ways to go before we get there. Anything else from the audience? Anybody for the betterment of the city? Yes, ma'am?
Question about the 2013 budget that was approved.
Okay.
I don't want to assume anything, so I'm looking for clarification here. So each department submitted their own line item budget, is that correct? Each department submitted
It breaks them up into departments, gives them to everybody to have some
their
input
budget.
in.
Okay. So
Maybe you want to talk.
I watched the YouTube for the 1226 meeting, and it was my understanding, I took from that meeting, that prior to the 1226 meeting, that a few of the members got together and did a B budget, and it affected other people's budgets. Is that correct?
There was two budgets proposed at the meeting. We combined them to vote on, yes.
So how can just a few people get together and determine what other people needed for their...
Oh, we could have all done that. All five of us could have done that. But the way it worked out, there was just two of them that come up with another. And we all worked with the finance director, Todd, was this year. We could have all gave him a budget if we wanted to. Not all of us had time to sit down and do an entire budget.
And initially there was from each department, correct?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm sure
The process we typically go through is we've got initially each department director and manager submits basically their wish list budget for the upcoming year. Then we start working together through our public meetings to kind of refine that list. Then till it's all said and done, of course, we get to the last meeting or so in the year where we actually have the numbers in front of us that we can digest as a group and then ultimately vote on. But throughout the course of those various public meetings, the budget numbers do change routinely. It's pretty common. But in the end, you get your vote, and that's what we ended with. So it wasn't a surprise per se to have a plan B. That was talked about. They brought something else to the table. So
Like I
this
said,
part
we
of the
could
debate.
have a C, D, E, F, and G if you wanted,
And that's why at the last meeting, we pretty much had a little bit of debate on the numbers, but that's not uncommon. I mean, that's pretty much part of the democratic process is to work those numbers through and have discussions publicly about them.
Okay.
All right, and then my other question is, there was discussion during that meeting, I understand, about having legal fees returned to the city from the party.
That was brought up in motion, but it wasn't passed.
And yet, Michael advised that that would be the legal way to go.
No.
I gave no advice on the topic. I was in Mexico.
Okay, because I took from that there was some sort of conversation with Michael that that would be the way to go. So I just wanted that clarified.
Not as a group, but ultimately I individually talked with Michael about the subject.
And what Todd and I have been discussing is we're very flexible on the topic. We continue to do the work for the environment. We keep working on having these buildings taken down that are blighted. And we will just keep doing it. If they pay us, that's great. If they don't, that's fine. We'll just keep doing it.
And please
Is that
understand
okay with you,
also,
Mr. Miller? Is that okay with you?
Fine.
All right.
He's happy. You don't want 202. As long as 202 is going, you're happy.
really didn't have to pay.
Excellent job.
Well, not being,
But
No, but really, we're just working at it.
yeah, that's something that we're working out. I don't suspect there's going to be any issue.
well, not being here at the
Yep.
meeting. I just
It's a
wanted
matter of,
clarification.
yeah, it's a matter of just simply, not a matter of whether or not it was quality work done for what we needed, but it's just a matter of, for us, for auditing and accounting purposes, we need to have a paper trail that shows how things transpire between one organization and another. That's what we're working on. And we'll have it resolved and everything goes forward.
Okay. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Dave, one thing I want to say, this weekend I ran into Mr. Schreck and some other board members from SRI. They're going to start working with businesses that belong to their organizations downtown and through the city, help promoting their business. And I said I'm sure council would be 100% behind them, whatever they need to help support our businesses will be behind them.
Sure.
So,
No question about that. You need to stay here yet?
yes, it's in the back there.
You want to talk to me, because I have an idea for, we need to get a, when you go to conventions, I'm sure you've been to conventions, somebody pops in a DVD of a 10-minute, pretty much promote your area.
Yeah.
We could make one of them pretty cheap right now. And I know we're talking about doing something in the softball, and I think we can combine a citywide and a pretty nice thing that any of us that go to conventions or meetings or whatever, you could pop in and show. It'd be a good advertising thing. So at some point in time, maybe we can talk about that and see how we can combine
That'd be great, sure.
different aspects of the city, redevelopment authority, recreation, the downtown business, everything. And it's not like that on it's not like that Sunbury profile type thing, but just again something when you go to meetings, even if you just meet, if somebody comes in out of town, you have 10 people there, and
Right.
you're having a meeting with somebody, you can pop it in a DVD and just play the thing off. I think it'd be a huge way to promote the city and a pretty inexpensive way to do it at the same time.
Okay, I'll stop in and see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
I'd like, from the New Year's Eve committee, I would like to thank the city for allowing us to have the New Year's Eve celebration. And I'd also like to thank Mike Bordner and his whole crew for making them streets look phenomenal for our celebration. So I'd like to thank the city and his crew.
You're welcome. I got to tell you, Slade, my biggest fear was when they said, well, you go down there and push the button, I said, yeah, but I thought, all I could think of was going down there with 12 people standing in the middle of the street. And thank God that didn't happen, because there was, if you weren't there, there was 2,000 people not standing there if there was any. It was
Well,
just,
and if we would have, we
amazing.
thought there was going to be 300 or 400. Had we would have known, we would have had you come up on the stage.
I know, that's quite all right, but it was an amazing evening, and everything worked out nice. So if you people that missed it, you missed a good time, and I'm sure it'll be bigger and better next year, yeah. Thanks again. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
We had approved a liquor license several months ago for a little beer sandwich thingy. Whatever happened with that?
That place looks empty.
Pardon me?
That place looks empty. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
the state's still working on it.
No, it's in,
We only approved them to just
Transfer.
to start the process.
yeah, that's the whole legal. They're with the Liquor Control Board, and I'm sure there's people in this office, or this room that'll tell you how long that takes. So, but that's what's going on. Still, best of our knowledge that they're coming, and we're just waiting to hear from them.
I keep going there. So I just go to the liquor store.
Anything else? I want to thank everybody for coming. Meeting's adjourned. Just a couple minutes down the office, guys.
I'm sorry?